This question just requires some, following instructions, maybe a little bit of get back to basics, right? We need to realize what we're dealing with here, and we can see that we have a line for f, but we also are told that g is a linear function as well. And so in order to kind of solve for something like g of 9, we probably need to know what that equation is. And we know that any equation for line is going to be y equals mx plus b. And with function notation, all that really means is that sometimes we replace the y with a function notation, right? G of x in this case. So it's the same thing. But that gives us a task, right? We need to find a slope, and we need to find a y-intercept, because then we'll have the equation and we'll be good to go. So whenever we have lines, y equals mx plus b is like a safe place for you to go because we understand the line in that format. And they do say stuff about slope, right? So the slope of g is 4 times the slope of f. So we have f here. Let's find the slope, right? So remember, you can pick any 2 points. Try to find ones that are easy, so the ones that hit corners are better. And then we know that slope is the rise over the run. So we rise from one point to the next by going up 1, so 1. And then we run going left to right, 2, positive as well, so 1/2. And a lot of you forget when you're dealing with slopes to think about positives and negatives. You forget that slope has a direction. My advice is anytime you have to find a slope from a graph, just remember, look at it at the end and see, is it a positive slope going up or is it a negative slope going down, right? Left to right, just like you read a book, left to right, is it going up or is it going down? This is a positive slope, and I just calculated that I have a positive slope. So yeah, it fits my expectations. So now we take that's f, so that's the f, and g is going to be 4 times that. So g is going to be 4 times 1/2, so 1/2 of 4 is 2. So there we go. 2 is the slope of that line, okay? That's the m. We need to also find the b, and there's a couple ways of doing this. Hopefully you recognize that 0, -4 is a y-intercept. So we can just pop that in as the b, because that's just by definition, a y-intercept is where x is equal to 0. If you didn't know that, you could always put the point into the equation, get something like -4 is equal to 2 times 0 plus b, and then 2 times 0 is 0, so we'd be just left with -4 is equal to b. So it's obvious either way, but it's good to know how intercepts work and what they're going to look like as points. So now I have the equation of g. G of x is equal to 2x minus 4. And my final instruction is to find g of 9. So that just means that I plug 9 in for the x's in the equation. This would be true no matter what equation we had. So there we go. 2 times 9 is 18, minus 4 is 14. Choice C, and that is the answer. So there's a lot of steps to this, but none of the steps I think are very hard. We have to do each of these steps individually on lots of other questions on any SAT. Things like finding slope, finding an equation of a line, plugging a point in, using function notation. All that stuff is going to come up somewhere else on your test. This is just a question that kind of took it all and put it together. And so sometimes it happens, is we just get a question that has a lot of steps, and so that's what makes it hard. The steps individually are pretty easy, but because of careless mistakes and things like that, you might, get it wrong. So just be really careful on stuff like this. Show your work. Don't do a lot in your head. It's late in the section. It's late in the exam. Don't trust your brain to hold all that information. Put it on the page, and you're more likely to, catch any mistakes before they happen.